Teddy Perkins started off as an idea about a guy who was.
Here's the original. Here's the original. I was having lunch with Ludwig, Ludwig was like a producer friend of mine. Yeah, he took video Turning Red and shit. So we were having lunch and we were just looking on the internet, and there was a picture of Michael. You know that meme where Michael Jackson is like running out of like the back store and he's doing like that. And Ludwig, I remember we were looking at it, and he goes, "Imagine that running after you in the dark."
Now, Atlanta is a very interesting show, as whether for its cruel but funny humour, its surrealist nature, or the strange and funny celebrity cameos like the Migos and Cat Williams, there is one episode I'd like to focus on in particular, that being the horrifying, anxiety-inducing episode Teddy Perkins.
Are you a music lover?
Yeah, I consider myself. Yeah, I work with a friend of mine, he's a rapper.
Rap? There's a funny one.
Now, Teddy Perkins obviously does not exist, but is based on Michael Jackson, from the high-pitched voice to him used to being black, and most importantly, his abuse he received from his father. Now, the episode plot is about Darius, the show's idiosyncratic, kind of black hippie character who usually goes on weird adventures. This is no different, but even he acts scared and anxious and almost to a point of normality, who goes to pick up a piano from a man and straight away you feel something is off, which is achieved by many things. First off, the many amount of horror references, from whatever happened to Baby Jane with Teddy hiding his brother Benny, to Darius's coat being picked specifically because it looked like the same coat James Caan wore in Misery, to Benny, Teddy's brother, being a reference to the Invisible Man. Of course, the other thing that makes it scary is the cinematography, in which it uses a lot of far-away still shots in order to get that unnerving feeling, like many horror films do. But also, it was used to give the feeling like Darius was always being watched, which it does effectively, with it taking direct influence from Kubrick's The Shining. Now, of course, the horrifying part of the episode is Teddy Perkins himself, which is actually Donald Glover in disguise, which he plays the role masterfully, whether the eyes that feel as though they're always watching Darius, to of course his high-pitched, creepy voice, which he even shouts at Darius one time, where you get to see how corrupted he truly is.
I can imagine him. No, you can't! You have no idea!
As Teddy does this, because they were talking about Benny and his disease, which we see is probably fake, and it seems as though he was being held hostage by Teddy. Now, the Benny and Teddy thing is weird, as it's left up to you as viewer whether or not they were the same person, two different people, or perhaps Benny the real Teddy, etc., etc. Now, I think it's highly likely that Teddy and Benny are one and the same, but represent two different sides of a consciousness, if you know what I mean. Benny, the real side, who is hurt and hides away from society, and traumatized from the fame and their father's abuse, whilst Teddy is the showman who hides who he actually is, thus the white face, but also the one who excuses the abuse they receive from their father.
Wouldn't understand. To make an omelet, you have to break a few eggs. I mean, to build bridges, people have to fall.
Are you not mad at your dad?
Of course not. There was no way for a child to understand what was at stake. He just wanted the best for us.
And the nice detail is that we never see any mention of Teddy Perkins even existing, only his brother Benny.
Oh, I think Nina's over there somewhere. Ahmad and my brother. They had a residency in New York together.
It's flames, huh?
Yes. Flames. My brother and Ahmad, they were staying at a hotel in Brooklyn off of Perkins Street.
Or perhaps it's the dad. Due to us not seeing Benny's face, it's implied he is being abused, and the fact Teddy Perkins seems to not exist, so perhaps it is the dad. Now, the episode deals with the issue of abuse and racism also, as Teddy is wanting to set up his house as a museum, one room in particular being a room dedicated to his quote-unquote great fathers, which it's made clear the great fathers he's talking about are the ones that punish their kids. through hitting them like Teddy and Benny got, of course Michael Jackson, but also many other child artists get, even bringing up Marvin Gaye, whose dad killed him with a shotgun, which plays into the ending in which Benny saves a tied-up Darius, but also then eventually kills himself. Which I think makes both theories about Teddy being the dad or them being the same person plausible theories. It also is made quite obvious from the get-go that the episode's main issue is about racism, from it being set in the Deep South to Darius buying a hat with a Confederate flag on it and writing on it, "You mad."
Oh, look at you.
So, in conclusion, I think the episode is a very unnerving, anxiety-inducing, whether the cinematography that feels as though you're being watched, to the abuse angle which is made even kookier by Teddy justifying it, to just the terrifying appearance of Teddy with the whispery voice and the unemotive face. Overall, I recommend you watch it as it's one of the best and most unique episodes of TV ever made.